Rossi, I'd go to Memphis all the time, and I'd say, man, that Dillon Brooks, defensive stalwart, making jump shots. Will he stop, please?
Yes, one of those guys that you hate when he's on the other side, but now he's on our side so we can love him, right?
Our Houston Rocket, Dillon Brooks, joining us on the show.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to Houston, by the way.
Thank you.
How weird is it wearing that uniform? Be honest.
It's a little different. We've seen it a lot. At least, if my math's correct, at least 20-something
4 times a year, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like it. I like the red and black. So
you've had a busy offseason and representing your country and everything. What's that been like?
It's been great. We started off on August 1st, training camp, and then we went to Germany, Spain, Indonesia, and then the Philippines, and we qualified for the Olympics. Hasn't been done since 2000, so it was great, and then won a bronze.
What was the level of competition like?
It was high. It was great. There a lot of sharing the basketball, multiple efforts. There's great basketball out there in Europe for sure.
What's the offseason been like you as far as being busy with that and preparing now to be here with the Houston Rockets, whirlwind, like trying to find, I don't know if you got a space to live and all that type of stuff. Has it been kind of one of the craziest off seasons you've had?
Yeah. There's a lot of just, indecision, just not knowing where I'm going to be at. But found a great home and, just working on my game, trying to, be better than last year.
What was it like visiting with some of these guys? Look, we've talked about this. You face each other 4 times a year. You know everybody's weaknesses and strength. Can you have that, and maybe you have yet to do that, can you have that hard reality talk to say, here's how I stopped you and here's what you were best at?
100%. I always, tell guys that I play with, like what, their strengths are and what their weaknesses is. I feel like, guys know that, coming in. And, it's nothing to be ashamed about or anything. It's just all about getting better.
Is that a harsh reality for some of those guys, or they kind of knew it when you would talk to them about it?
A little bit, I'm a little talker sometimes.
Really? I didn't notice that whatsoever.
But it's just the heat of battle. And, I love this game. I love playing it. And, some of these guys are going to, hear it from me in training camp.
I have a very good friend that works for the Grizzlies, and I said, we talked about you coming here, and I said, what's Dillon like? And he said, you took a brunt of a lot of the quote-unquote problems in terms of mentality and attitude around that team, and it was unfair. When you hear that, is that justification to you, or is that just, that comes with the territory for being a guy that's unafraid to say a couple of things?
Yeah, it comes with the territory. I feel like, I was one of the focal points of that team, gave it its edge, its grit, and its grind. But like I said before, it just comes with the territory. You learn from it, you build an extra skin, and you try to get better and mold those things to where, you're not saying, really outlandish things.
Yeah.
It's like a strategic thing that you pull out of your.
You kind of place it when the time's appropriate.
Exactly.
Free agency for some guys, they love it because they want to go see what their value is. Some guys are like, hey, I like where I'm being. What was the free agency process like? Did you enjoy the experience, or was it a couple of sleepless nights here and there?
I enjoyed it. I had no stress. It was just brand new to me because when I signed my second contract, it was during the year, so it was an extension. But usually I stay and work on the off season, with the team I'm at. But it was nice being in Phoenix, working out, and couldn't wait to figure out where I was going.
You would go against this team, and you know how young they were, impressionable. You and Fred are going to be the two of the leaders in terms of age and experience. It's stupid to say, are you ready to handle that responsibility? You know that's coming to you whether you want it or not.
Exactly. Like I said before, it feels like it was like Memphis when we first started out with all, our core group. But every single time you play Houston, even last year, they were a great offensive group. They just didn't know how to, pull out games or, figure out how to win games at the end. They were always in all games and know how to score and be able to, battle with any team in the NBA. But, with me, Fred, coming in as, vets and knowing how to win, especially, his pedigree with winning a championship. We're going to, figure out how to win games, and, our first goal is, to make the playoffs for sure.
One of the young guys here that people have high hopes for is Jaylen Green. What's your experience playing against him and watching him do his thing? And then what do you think things that you can point out to him that he needs to improve, and what does he need to do to get to that next level?
He's an amazing talent, really athletic, finds ways to score in bunches. He's one of the toughest covers, in the NBA for sure. I feel like the biggest thing is, him being comfortable going both ways. He loves that right hand and is able to get to it, at any time. But, when teams start getting to, that playoffs, that end of the season, when games really matter, that's going to be the vocal point of the scouting report. And just for him to be able to go both ways and find ways to score that way, it's going to be a tough cover. And then on top of that, we just got to, stress on the defensive end, just effort. Not everyone's going to be the Dillon Brooks or the Patrick Beverleys of the world, you know what I'm saying? But just giving that effort, it goes a long way with getting steals, going on a transition, fast breaks. Just everyone just giving that effort.
And consistent effort too, right? Because, I mean, somebody can try for 4 or 5 possessions, but I think it just comes down to probably just going down there and every possession doing
Exactly.
defensive. Yeah.
Exactly.
How well did you know Fred VanVleet before you got here?
I never knew him well. I just always, seen him play for Toronto, so, that's close to home for me. But, getting to know him more and more each and every day.
You got a fair share of technical fouls last year. What are those deductions like in the check? Do they hurt a little bit?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but, it's just what it is. I'm going to try to tone it down this year with the technicals, talking with the refs. But, overall, sometimes you need to, voice your opinion.
How many of them you're like, I know it's coming, or how many are like, come on, cut me some slack here a little bit here?
I think most of them I knew they were coming. But then like towards the end when you're starting to get like, suspensions and stuff like that, that's when I was like trying to tread water for sure.
Last question. You work with a lot of red-ass centers that have been very good over your career. You can get a little mean streak into Alperen Sengun a little bit?
Say that again. Say that question again.
You've had some red-ass centers you play with over the years that I've had plenty of respect for.
Yeah.
Can you get a little mean streak into Alperen?
Yeah, for sure. Every day I'm going to be bumping him, trying to get his motor going. But he's one of the great young players of our league. Finds ways to score. Just needs that that mentality of like every single time down. If you're going to get it on the block, just go at somebody. And then on top of that, on the defensive end, just learning different guys' tendencies. Not only the guy you're guarding, but the other guys that are coming off ball screens and stuff like that. So I can't wait to work with him, work with Jaylen, work with all these guys, and turn this thing around for sure.